One is that they are these teachings, purportedly, that Jesus gives to each individual apostle, and they're specific to that individual. And so Jesus is portrayed as this figure has all these secret teachings that he gives to individuals. And we see this as consistent with what scholars call the Messianic secret in the Gospel of Mark, or whenever Jesus performs a miracle, he says, "Don't tell anyone about this." Whenever someone says, "You're the Messiah, you're the Christ," he says, "Don't tell anyone." And he has all these teachings where he says, "I teach in parables to the masses so that they don't understand and so they don't repent from their understanding. So I have to teach them in these vague languages to prevent them from repenting," which is very strange, but we'll talk more about that, why he says that. But I just want to point out that there's this theme of Jesus having these secret teachings with this hidden information that he passes on to his disciples. And this is very much consistent with the theme that we see in these Coptic Nag Hammadi texts. So the Gospel of Mark has the lowest Christology of any of the four Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, which means it has the lowest view of Jesus. But then if you look at how Jesus interacts with his disciples in the Gospel of Mark, he's always berating them, saying, "How long do I have to be with you who don't understand? Can't you have more faith?" And so they're constantly not understanding who Jesus is, not comprehending his teachings, lacking faith. They're betraying him, they're abandoning him. And his family says, "We think he's gone insane, he's crazy." And so everyone has this negative view of Jesus. Jesus is portrayed as a sinner in the opening scene of the Gospel of Mark, which we'll talk about in one of the first videos once we get into the series. So this very negative view of Jesus and the movement. And we see this in the Nag Hammadi library, in the literature of Alexandria, Egypt, where it constantly portrays the apostles of Jesus in a very negative light.